Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tech Talk here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. This is where we're going to take a look at charts and options, and I'm going to give you a forecast on some stocks that are going to have earnings tomorrow morning. So let's jump right in. So we're going to get a picture here of the charts, take a look at what's been going on, kind of get an idea of sentiment, and then I'm going to give you a price range that's being estimated for the stock going into earnings. Let's jump in. The first one I want to take a look at, Bristol Myers. Finished down today 17 cents at 53.77. Clearly see that this stock has been in a bearish trend. Not a huge downtrend, but coming down from 58 to 53. Challenging its 20 and 50-day moving averages after basically breaking those and staying below. So we got firm resistance at the 53 level and the 54 level. Just cannot get over it. Actually settled below both the 20 and 50-day moving average. So it's slightly bearish as far as sentiment goes in Bristol Myers. But with earnings, that's a catalyst, right? It has earnings 13 hours right now. Estimate is around 73 cents. So what are the options marketplace telling us? Well, right now, Bristol Myers is coming in with an implied volatility rank of 24.7. For you new viewers, what does that mean? Well, implied volatility is a forecast of potential violent moves in the underlying. It's utilized by option pricing models to basically price in their forecast of potential moves in the stock. That helps in pricing options. With that, we rank that volatility in a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. Bristol Myers comes in at 24.7, so it's on the low end of the scale. This is where I say that there's not a heightened sense of huge, big moves in Bristol Myers going into earnings. Looking at the options, though, that are expiring at the end of this week, in other words, in the next 2 days, they're pricing in the potential of a 5% move in Bristol Myers. That's pretty significant. Basically, they're pricing in a range of between being up 137 or down 137. That's 5% on this $53.77 stock. So we're going to keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. You can hold me to it. Watch the market tomorrow morning, see where the pre-market is, and then the open after the earnings are announced. You'll see where Bristol Myers is trading. Now, I got pizza on the mind, so I'm going to take a look at Domino's. Domino's is going to be reporting tomorrow, ticker symbol DPZ. Domino's traded up 37 cents at 180.96. Now, it's trading down a little bit after hours. Taking a look at the stock, it's basically been challenging its 20 and 50-day moving average. The bulls are trying to get some sort of momentum after what's been a pretty big consolidation for the last couple of months. So there's a real big fight here for the bulls. They're really on their heels. They need to dig in, and they're going to need a positive catalyst from earnings. It's coming out right now tomorrow. Estimates right around $1.16 as far as earnings estimates. With that being said, the options are pricing in around a $10 move in this $180 stock. That is pretty significant when you're thinking about it. It's basically, you're talking about what about a little under about a 7% move being priced in. Now, the IV rank comes in at 63. That's telling me that there is a heightened expectation of a big violent move in Domino's. With that being said, that estimated move is for the next 23 days, right? So it's not as timely as if I had weekly options to look at. Again, not to confuse some new viewers here, but I'm giving you a range right now for the next 23 days that the options are pricing in that the stock could be as high as 190 and some change or as low as 170 and some change over the next 23 days. Another name that I want to take a look at, autos have been on everybody's mind, especially now that we're seeing that tax reform and tariffs are starting to be levied. Trump administration has already put tariffs on Canada. Now they're starting to talk about tariffs potentially on autos. We saw that impact earlier today after some positive results in Japan for Honda and Toyota. We're seeing that could, because the yen was weak, that yen weakness has helped those exporters, but if there is a tariff put on autos, that's going to impact these names, and it could impact Ford because Ford also exports, and it exports to China. If we start to put tariffs on goods that are being imported in, that is going to be very difficult that we couldn't get into some sort of trade war that could potentially impact names like Ford. Taking a look at Ford, you can see that Ford actually was up 12 cents today at 11.60. It's trading up a penny after hours right now. But looking at this, it got above its 20-day moving average. So the short-term bulls have started to take some control in front of earnings, but they have firm resistance at 11.81. That's the 50-day moving average, and long-term resistance at 12.28. Let's see if the earnings do give a catalyst not only to the short-term bulls for some further upside movement, but also for the intermediate-term bulls, get them back into the play because they've dropped considerably since coming out of a consolidation and dropping in late March significantly through all of its moving averages. They're all now resistance. And so what are the options telling us? Well, first of all, the implied volatility rank comes in at 48, so it's right in that middle. That gives me a little, once it's trading right around 50, that's telling me there's a heightened sense of big violent moves. And once it gets well over 50, I got red alerts going. I got to really dig deep and make sure that I am managing my risk. The biggest way to manage risk when you see high implied volatility, scale down your size. Trim a little bit. If you're entering into a new position, go in a third of the position as you normally would, regardless of what your convictions are. If you have a current position, make sure that you tighten up your risk. Make sure that that risk profile fits your objectives, your risk tolerance. They're pricing in a 24-cent move for the remainder of this week. That's roughly around 2.2% for this $11 stock. Let's watch this one closely tomorrow, especially since we've had Trump administration come out with their tax policy. We'll see if that actually starts to put some other pressures on their trade policies. Finally, I want to take a look at an airline. LOVE, L-U-V. That's Southwest Airlines. Now, Southwest was trading down 15 cents today at 56.94. It's trading up a penny after hours. Right now, above its 20 and 50-day moving average. The pullback in crude oil is potentially helping LOVE. There's also been some positive results as far as airlines are concerned. We're going to watch their passenger rates, actually see how, if in fact the recent rise in crude oil is impacting their bottom line, their revenues. Right now, LOVE is running at a 62 IV rank. Heightened sense of violent moves potentially in here. They're pricing in for the next 2 days a 3% range in LOVE in this $56 stock. So that means there's a $1.71 range either up or down. Remember, these ranges are not, or these estimates are not directionally biased. So watch LOVE very closely tomorrow. There is a heightened sense that this thing could move violently. All right, folks, that's it for Tech Talk. Thank you for joining me. I will be back with all of the closing bell action from today. It was an interesting day. We had a little bit of a sell-off going into the day after what was looking like a strong session going into the tax reform discussion that the Trump administration released today. Let's see what's going on. Join me here at MarketStream.live for the closing bell.